going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you lot are all doing well today, man. I really do hope that. And welcome to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Football Therapy, where I go across football news media, consolidate what's happening regarding Chelsea Football Club, put it in a edible package, manageable package for you guys, the viewer. Give my opinion on the stories and, more importantly, ask for yours down in the comment section below. And today we're having a very German episode. As Chelsea continue to look to break football this transfer window, I do want to talk about the massive news stories regarding Kai Havertz. I've spoken about it a lot recently on this channel, guesting on podcasts. I spoke on the London is Blue podcast about this story. I urge you guys to go check that out because that's a lot of fun and a great show. And really, it's a massive story. A lot of people are sort of speculating how perhaps it's not a problem position with Chelsea now, and it probably isn't. Chelsea have got loads of exciting, promising forwards, but such a versatile player as Kai Havertz could be a massive bonus for Frank Lampard's Chelsea. So I'm going to talk about Kai Havertz, and I also want to talk about Timo Werner yet again. I know it's a little bit of a broken record at this point, and the clubs are yet to announce the impending transfer, but more news is broken how actually Pep Guardiola and Manchester City were in for the German striker as well, but it was indeed the charm of Frank Lampard who managed to convince Timo to come to Chelsea. Klopp, Pep, Lampard won. It's very, very exciting at the moment what's going to happen with Chelsea. So many superb players, so much promise, so much academy youth talent now dusted with sparkles, man, that's so fruity. Basically loads of additional quality on top. It's going to be awesome, and I'm going to talk about that in today's video. And if you do like daily updates for Chelsea Football Club, I'd urge you guys to subscribe to this channel, Football Therapy, if you haven't done so already. Only if you want to, but if you choose to do so, make sure you hit the bell notifications icon, and please drop a like on this video. Thank you very much. Alright, let's get into it. So let's start with Timo, half of TNT, Timo and Tammy. More on that on the other videos. Timo Werner coming to Chelsea, gargantuan signing in terms of a centre forward that's available, that's a massive talent. It's probably Timo Werner at the top of the list. We all know that he was at one point supposed to go to Bayern, at one point thinking he'd like to go to Liverpool, and he's ended up at Chelsea. I've done a video on this, go back and check it out a few days ago. But as the days go by and more news breaks from different journalists regarding the Timo Werner to Chelsea story, we are learning more and more that the reason he made his decision is less so much that Chelsea were the only club willing to trigger his buyout clause, but more to the fact that Frank Lampard managed to convince the player that he was the manager for him, that Chelsea was the club for him, that this project would suit him the most. It's recently come to light in the papers that also Manchester City were trying to convince the player to acquire the player to bring him to Manchester. Champions of England, Manchester City. Super squad, Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. But it was too late. Frank Lampard had spoken to him. When Frank Lampard has spoken, often he convinces. We know that Lamps and Big Pete flew over to Germany to talk to the player, managed to convince him that he would be in the long-term plans, and also convince him how he would work in this Chelsea squad, which is massively important for a player. They need to know how they're going to feature. A huge part of this was Lampard convincing Timo that he was in for the long haul. Players are going to be concerned at Chelsea that managers are going to go in and out, because that's often been the way at the club. Sure, they've won trophies in between, but at the moment, stability is key. Frank Lampard managed to convince Timo that he would be at the club for a long term, and that's important. His charm got in there. Sorry, Pep Guardiola. Sorry, Jurgen Klopp. He's coming to Chelsea. Beautiful and incredible scenes indeed. Anyway, enough about Frank Lampard charming players and convincing him to come to the Blues over other European supergiants. Let's talk about the big news that's been breaking the last few days. Kai Havertz, the 20-year-old superstar, auxiliary forward, attacking midfielder, inside forward, false 9, second striker, number 9. Yeah, that Kai Havertz. At this point, when Chelsea fans are really just settling over the excitement of Hakim Ziyech agreeing to come to Chelsea Football Club, who is one of Europeans' brightest creative and attacking talents, of course, we've only just been riding the wave of Timo Werner, which is an explosive acquisition, of course. And behind the scenes, there's been news stories regarding Kai Havertz to Chelsea. Now, Havertz doesn't have that long left on his deal. He's in a similar situation to Jadon Sancho. Bayer Leverkusen are a club that could really benefit off a massive transfer fee, the kind of transfer fee that they could get for Kai Havertz, and a club like Bayer could really do with that cash. Chelsea have been really sensible with their money. Not only have they not had the option to spend last summer, of course they didn't spend in the January transfer window as well, they've recouped money via player sales, and generally they are in a really strong position to spend. They're in the green, they have the money. On top of that, Chelsea of course have Roman Abramovich, a very rich benefactor, and if financial fair play regulations are going to be relaxed, that puts Chelsea in a very strong position indeed to splash the cash. Now, it's been reported that Kai Havertz is indeed available and Chelsea are indeed very interested, and the fee being touted is about 70 to 75 million pounds. Now, of course, that's quite a bit more than Timo Werner, and he hasn't perhaps scored as many goals as him, but he's only 20 years old, and of course he does not have a buyout clause, which is the reason why Timo Werner was so readily available at such a reasonable price. And by reasonable price, I mean excellent price. So at this point, you're going to ask me, Jan, Kai Havertz, do we need him at 75 million pounds? Of course, that would be a record signing for Chelsea Football Club, exceeding the 71 million pounds that Kepa Arrizabalaga cost Chelsea. But to be honest, forwards generally cost more, especially if they score goals. Kai Havertz scores goals, he assists, but more importantly, like I said earlier in the video, he is very versatile, and this is the kind of thing Frank Lampard has been looking at. He likes Timo Werner because he can play up front, or he can play wide, or as a second striker. But if you look at someone like Kai Havertz, who oozes class at such a young age, 20 years old, he is such an accomplished player with a superb amount of positional versatility on the pitch. Let me remind you that Kai Havertz can play attacking mid. He could play one of the number 8s in Frank Lampard's system, like Mason Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, or even N'Golo Kante, which sounds weird. He can play that position. He can play number 10 if Frank Lampard chooses to play a 4-2-3-1. He can play a false 9, perhaps a bit of a deeper striker, which he's played quite a lot, but he's quite tall. He's over 6 foot. He can actually play as a striker. If Tammy Abraham is not doing the business, he could play Kai Havertz up front, Timo Werner on the left, and Ziyech on the right. Frightening. Absolutely frightening, and potentially a whole new front three from last season. But Frank Lampard likes to change system, likes to change tactics mid-game as well, so if he wants Kai Havertz as a sort of number 10, or even as a second striker, perhaps with a front two, he can do that as well. You know, it could just be Werner and Havertz up front. The point I'm saying is he has incredible positional awareness, and that's good. He's not just someone who's going to score goals, even though he has the ability to squeeze a goal in from most positions, but his movement is incredible as well. He sort of glides like a car. Where he carries the ball is excellent. He's very intelligent when he has limited time on the ball, and that kind of trait would work perfectly in the Premier League. And it's important to note at this point in the video that he isn't just some guy who's randomly scored 4 goals after the resumption of football in Germany. No. He's been excellent for a couple of seasons now, and you remember, only 20 years old. He's been excellent for a couple of seasons, and people are seeing him perform at such a high level on different positions in the pitch. If Frank Lampard truly does want to use players that can move around, you could understand why he would become a priority signing. Sure, left back is top of the list in many ways for Chelsea. Regardless, Chelsea are going to try their hardest to buy a left back, whether that ends up being Ben Chilwell, Tagliafico, Tellez, or another left back. If Chelsea can secure the signing of Kai Havertz, this would be an excellent piece of opportunism, getting more quality up front, but not just someone who's going to put someone else on the bench, because Kai has that versatility to play in different positions where the quality swaps around, so it's not necessarily one current player that feels like they're going to be benched. Everyone needs to try now and raise their game. It's really interesting. I heard on the Straight Out of Common podcast, Frank Lampard did not tell Tammy Abraham about the Timo Werner situation. He wanted to see how he reacted when the news broke, how he would react in training. Remember how Frank Lampard reacted when Chelsea signed Michael Ballack, how he rose his game, and how they ended up moving around on the pitch and sort of switching positions. I kind of think Frank Lampard wants the same thing to happen with this current Chelsea. Kai Havertz come in, how is Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, other number 8s on the pitch going to feel? They'll probably think, right, well, he's not necessarily going to bench me because he might play there or he might play here. Everyone together is going to raise their game, and hopefully the quality of Chelsea Football Club as a whole entity will go up. Personally, I don't feel like Kai Havertz should be a priority signing for the Blues, but of course, as such a quality player, if he does indeed arrive at SW6, I, like other Chelsea fans, will be absolutely buzzing, mate. So, a wonderful German invasion in England, but a good kind. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section below. Do you think Kai Havertz should we go all out for him? Is he worth 75 million? Let me know. Express yourselves in the comment section below. And if you've enjoyed the content that I've provided for you guys today, please do like the video. That means a lot. Remember to subscribe if you are new. You, of course, also welcome to follow me on social media at Football Yannick on both Instagram and Twitter. That's it from me, you lot. You will enjoy the football that's starting again soon, and I will see you later, mate.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.